All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Luscious Living Podcast. I am your host, Celine Vilgan, and I have a very special guest on. Brad is someone that I've known Brad for years, but he has not known me at all. I have been watching his videos on YouTube for many years now. Brad is the EFT Wizard. He is a YouTuber with thousands of people who are tapping along with him. And if you're wondering what on earth I'm talking about with EFT and tapping, you're about to find out. Okay. So he is a speaker, an author, a success coach. Brad has worked with everyone from CEOs to athletes to chiropractors to psychiatrists, attorneys to people, residents at a homeless shelter in Santa Monica. So you can see that it's a variety of different people. Okay. And so if you are curious to learn if this can even apply to you, yes, it can. He's also the best-selling author of the children's book, The Wizard's Wish, the co-author of the bestseller, Freedom at Your Fingertips, a featured expert in the film The Tapping Solution with Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor, and many of you know I worked with Bob, Dr. Norman Shealy, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and so some names that you probably recognize. And he has been heard on internet talk show radios and podcasts like this. And, I'm just so excited to share your wisdom with us today, Brad. Thank you so much for choosing to be on the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much, Celine, for having me on. I'm very happy to be here. It's great to meet you.
Great to meet you as well. So you have a fascinating background. You actually graduated from clown college. How on earth did you go from that to what you're doing now?
Yeah, I was an actor. I had been an actor since high school, had traveled the world doing theater, and went to Hollywood to be a movie star, as one does. And while I was there, one of the sort of side things I did is I had seen the auditions for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College and thought, as one does, hey, that sounds like a good idea. And so that was just part of my experience as an actor, was doing that training. And while I was around that same time, I had met a woman, fell in love, and got married. And when our first child was on the way, I thought, I should probably have a backup career. And so I trained to become a hypnotherapist because I'd always been fascinated with the power of the mind. And so I did. And so I was continuing my acting career while also building a practice as a hypnotherapist. And after a couple of years, when our second child was on the way, I realized that as much as I loved acting, personal development work was really my calling. This is really what I felt drawn to do. So we left Los Angeles and moved to Northern California. And through some other hypnotherapists, I heard about EFT and this tapping work. And for folks who are new to this, it's this stress relief process of tapping with our fingertips on acupuncture points. And little by little started introducing that into my work, which little by little became more tapping work than hypnosis. And then YouTube happened, and I thought, hey, wouldn't it be great if there was a tapping video that people could start their day with? And I'll call it Tap of the Morning. And it was all I ever intended to do, was that one video. And then like 6 months later, I had another idea. And then a few months later, I had another idea. And now I have over 1,000 videos there. As it happens.
It's so, I love that because it's been an organic process, and you just followed, it sounds like your guidance, your intuition too, and also some of that logic of being like, okay, I need to have some sort of plan for this. And that turned into this thriving community that you have of people tapping with you. You have videos from whether it's loneliness to anxiety to weight, like everything. And so how did you start to, can you actually tell us a little bit more about what it exactly is, and how does one even practice and start?
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly for anyone who is new to this and what I showed you, tapping, you might be saying, what is Celine teaching us? Why is this on here? So tapping, or EFT, emotional freedom techniques, is based on acupuncture. So for thousands of years in Chinese medicine, they have said there's this flow of energy through the body along these pathways that are called meridians. And when the energy is flowing naturally, we experience our natural state of health and well-being, physically and emotionally. When this energy gets stuck, we don't feel so good. We experience difficult emotions. We experience stress. That makes it difficult for us to think clearly. We don't make the best choices. And that has all kinds of unfortunate consequences for our lives. So in traditional acupuncture, they'd use a needle. We're just using our fingertips to stimulate these same points. It clears out stress faster than almost anything.
Mhm.
And there is a growing body of scientific evidence validating this. So we've always had plenty of anecdotal evidence. It's people trying it and saying, wow, I know this works. But we do have chemical studies with cortisol levels, the stress hormone. We have fMRI studies where you can see the brain activity lighting up, and then how that shifts after tapping. So science is validating what many of us have known for a long time anyway, that it's a profound way of lowering stress. And when you consider that stress either causes or worsens most, if not all, of the issues that bother us physically and emotionally, then having a simple tool for relieving stress is so powerful in helping us create the lives we want.
It's so true. I love that. And it's going into a practice that's been, I guess EFT has not been around as long as acupuncture. However, it's following that line, right?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, you have topics ranging from a variety of themes. What can it solve?
Yeah, it's funny with all the different videos. I have a tagline now. There's a tap for that.
There you go.
Whatever's bothering you, there's a tap for that. And one of the taglines for EFT is try it on everything. Because as I said, stress either causes or worsens most of the issues. So we can look at almost anything that's bothering us, whether it's problems in our relationship or physical issues, or if we are having difficulty making more money, or our enhancing sports performance. There's video of all these top level athletes, professional athletes, Olympic athletes using tapping because it helps them enhance their performance. Because stress and stressful thoughts cause us to not think as clearly and not make the best choices. So as we break down that stress, that gives us the ability to change our programming, to reconsider old beliefs that we have, to think in healthier, more productive ways. And it also gives us more physical freedom in terms of athleticism, in terms of just taking action on different goals and things like that. So that's why it can be so useful in so many different areas of life.
And it blocks the energy, it unblocks the energy blockage, right? And so in Chinese medicine, acupuncture, there's that stagnation of energy. And so I work with a lot of clients who have, it'll manifest as a hormone imbalance or headaches or whatever it is, but there's also an internal thought pattern, very much about the somatic or neuropsychoimmunology. So you also work with a series of affirmations that, or phrases, but you also first address the negative, right? Can you tell us a little bit about what that is, and even how to identify what the negative thought is?
Right. And it freaks some people out the first time they experience EFT, which usually starts with, even though I have this problem, I choose to love and accept myself, and be like, no, you can't talk about the problem. It's positive thinking. You can't focus on the negative.
Yeah.
And it's like, but what you resist persists.
Exactly.
If you have a beautiful living room with a beautiful carpet, and you also have a beautiful dog, and your dog leaves a not so beautiful gift on your carpet, you can't just say, I'm just going to look at where the carpet's clean. Because one, step in it and spread it around. And two, you're kidding yourself, because part of you is focused on the poop.
Yeah.
So we don't want to just sit on the couch and look at it and go, oh, there's poop on my carpet. Yeah, we don't want to get stuck in focusing on the negative, but we have to address that it's there, clean it up. And then once we've cleaned it up, then our carpet is clean again, and we can enjoy it, and we can walk around without worrying about spreading anything. So that's why we focus on it. Now, I sometimes do tapping on just the positive, and we'll just talk about the affirmations. And people will say, but EFT is a cleaning process. Why would you focus on it? Well, you can, if you have a dirty carpet, you can be vacuuming it and you can be talking about how clean your carpet is. It's still getting clean
Mm-hmm.
because you're doing this cleaning process. And sometimes when we're saying an affirmation, we will bring up that part of us energetically that doesn't agree. So if I say, I have great wealth, if part of me is like, are you kidding me? You are dead broke.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's going to bring up the stressful feelings that I have about money, which I'm going to be clearing while I'm tapping. So
Ah.
even though the wording sounds positive, I'm still bringing up any possible limiting beliefs about that. And sometimes that can be, as you said, how do you start? How do you know what to say?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're not sure what the problem is, but you know what you want, then you could be talking about what you want and be tapping and whatever might be going on inside that's limiting you. So money is one of those places where people will say, I don't have any blocks to money. Of course I want money. I want a lot more money. I don't know why it's not showing up. Well, the extent to which you don't have what you say you want tends to be the extent to which you're resisting it.
Mm-hmm.
And most of us are not aware of how many negative beliefs we have about money. You know, old ideas like money is the root of all evil and rich people are greedy and bad and all this stuff. And so we say, you know, I want to live lusciously,
Mm-hmm.
but only bad people do. You
Mm-hmm.
know, or it will mean compromising my values,
Yep.
or it will mean, and it's not true,
Yep.
because you can live an absolutely ethical, giving, wonderful life and allow the abundance that's all around. So it's a matter of changing those beliefs. But so when we think about that, when we say, um, I want to live lusciously, and part of us says that sounds great, but if it's not happening, it's because part of us says, you can fantasize about that all you want. You can put
Mm-hmm.
it on your vision board. You can get excited about it, but it's not safe. It's not right. And we're going to make sure it doesn't happen. And that's just old programming that has this misinformation about why it wouldn't be right. And so we have a stressful response that stops us from making that phone call or going up and talking to that person or starting that exercise program or whatever it is that says, no, no, not yet. Don't do that right now. There's just a stress response that's saying, I'm protecting you from something that you don't understand how dangerous it is. And this is a way of calming that down and going, oh, you know what? That may be a misunderstanding. I choose to reconsider that
Mm-hmm.
and see, I can handle this. It is okay for me to do this.
Wow, it's so true because I've worked in the personal development field, and it could be whether it's about the money, or even actually what currently when I work with weight loss clients as well, it's like we can have those goals, but until the subconscious, until the desire for safety is addressed, then that's when we kind of go back and forth and the yo-yo dieting,
Yeah,
right?
it's one of the first things I do with folks is, I, it's like someone will come up and say, I've read all the books, I've gone to all the seminars about money or about weight loss or whatever it might be, and I just can't achieve my goals. And I'll say, oh, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine achieving this goal. Imagine having your ideal physical health. Imagine having the amount of money you say you want, and just following your breath through your body, say, it's safe for me to have this.
Mm.
And in fact, everyone watching this right now, you can do this, close your eyes and think about what you want. Imagine having it and say, it's safe for me to have this. And let that rattle around for a moment. And notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how true that feels. And I've done this with so many people, and they'll say, oh, it's like a 2 or a 3. And I'll say,
Mm.
now you know why you don't have it.
Yep.
If you had a child and this child was invited to a birthday party, and at the place the birthday party was happening was really sketchy, and you said, on a scale of 0 to 10, how safe is it for my kid to go to this house? If it was a 2 or a 3 out of 10, would you let your child go to that party? No. So if it's only a 2 or 3 in terms of safety for you to have that money or that body or that relationship or whatever it might be, really appreciate, stop beating yourself up for not having gotten it, and really appreciate how successful you have been at keeping yourself safe based on what may very well be a misunderstanding, and probably is. But if the belief is it's not safe to have this, but we, no one teaches us to ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll say, put up that vision board.
Yeah.
Don't question whether or not it's safe. Just allow yourself to put up the things that excite you. So we get excited about it, and then we get mad at ourselves for not. It's, oh, I'm so stupid that I've had this on my vision board for 10 years and I still don't have it yet. Scale of 0 to 10. How safe does it feel? 2. Now you know you are absolutely successful. You are 100% successful 100% of the time based on what you believe is right and safe for you.
No one out there is saying that, you know, in that, whether it's attracting money or the relationship. And this is something I talk about too, where it's, if someone released the weight, or if someone was healthier, would that impact their relationship, like their immediate relationships? Would that impact, you know, putting yourself out there? Is it the fear of criticism? Whatever it is, it keeps us safe. And you address that. Okay. And so, does someone have to be in that emotional state already to be feeling that? Could they just, you know, at any point have a practice, like a meditation practice, but a tapping practice?
Yeah. Yeah. I recommend tapping on a daily basis because to me, it's energy hygiene. You know, we have physical hygiene like brushing our teeth and taking a shower, and we do it daily, whether we need it or not. We don't wait for 3 weeks and then go, wow, people are holding their nose around me. I haven't taken a shower in a while. I should do that. You know, brushing our teeth. We don't wait and look in the mirror and see, is there green stuff growing between my teeth? No. Okay. I don't need, you know, it's like, oh, am I having emotional distress? No. Okay. Then I don't need to tap. You know, it's like you do it before it gets to that place.
Yeah.
So, and especially in the information age, we are getting bombarded with stressful messages all the time. We may not physically be aware of how stressed out we are, but it's there. And, you know, there are tools that could measure that, you know, electronically and stuff. So to do something to maintain that on a daily basis is to me essential in terms of putting ourselves in the best place to be able to handle life in the best way, in having ourselves be as clear as possible to make the best decisions and be much more open. I start each morning with a little bit of tapping. There's nothing bothering me per se, but it's like, okay, just in case there's anything that might be resisting having a good day, I'm clearing that out. Anything that might stop me from taking whatever action I choose to take to be healthier, to make good choices about what I eat, about exercise, things like that. I want to be as clear and open as possible, so I'm present to my clients, and I'm not dealing with other stuff that I may not be consciously aware of. So yeah, so I recommend that and there's so much stuff that's going on that we don't allow ourselves to know. That's why it can be so helpful to work with a practitioner, because there's a part of us that'll say, you know, no, yeah, you may be aware that you're not achieving everything on your vision board, but there's nothing wrong there. No, don't worry about it, because it doesn't want us to know what's stopping us. And, you know, all these different ways that we stop ourselves. And so I like to say that self-sabotage is simply misguided self-love.
Wow.
Whether it's, you know, messing up our diet, or showing up late to work, or you know, saying things to our romantic partner that we know we probably shouldn't say, but we just can't seem to stop ourselves because there's a part of us that says it's not safe to have that greater health. It's not safe to keep this job. It's not safe to keep this relationship. It doesn't fit who I have learned to believe that I am. And so I need to sabotage this. And as we tap, without waiting until we're consciously aware, oh, hey, I'm sabotaging myself. It's like, I want to get myself clear of that stuff before I start sabotaging myself.
Wow. Okay. So what would you recommend for people to, you know, have that, whether it's a daily energy cleanse or really address a specific issue? What would be your diagnosis?
Well, so if you're obviously if you're aware of something, so if it's like I feel this tension in my shoulders, or I feel this sadness about something, or I'm really angry at Bob, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And on a scale, and you could rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. Okay, it's wow, he really pissed me off. It's an 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be aware, ask myself, where in my body do I feel it? Okay, I feel it in my fists. My fists are just clenching when I think about it. And so then we would start the process, and it's just gently tapping on the side of the hand would say, even though I'm angry at Bob, I choose to love and accept myself. And say that 3 times. And then we go to each of these points and we tap about 5 to 10 times. It may be different. If we're saying a longer phrase, it may be more. So it's not a matter of has to be exactly 5 to 10 times or it doesn't work. We'd go through and say this anger at Bob, this anger at Bob, this anger at Bob. So that's the basic version of EFT is you just have this phrase of whatever is bothering you and repeat it on each of these points. Now, if you're not particularly aware of something, it's like, I'm not angry at Bob. I'm not angry at anybody right now. There's nothing bothering me right now. Then you could simply say affirmations. You can say prayers. There are certain prayers that I'll say. Sometimes I'll simply be tapping while saying, "Thank you for the blessings that I have. Thank you for the blessings I'm receiving." And as I
Mm.
tap, I clear away anything that might be coming up as to why I might resist that. Uh, a popular, not so much prayer as statements as is the Ho'oponopono phrases.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you can tap along with that. You can, like I said, I got over 1,000 videos. You can just say, oh, this looks interesting, and tap along with that. And you don't even necessarily need to say words. There are
Mm.
times where I'll just be tapping and it's just like, okay, whatever stress, whatever limiting beliefs might be going on that I'm not aware of, I choose to just process those. I choose to be clear in
Mm.
whatever might be going on. But if there is something that you're aware of, then yeah, great. You want to target that.
I love that. So, we had discussed a little bit off camera too. I would love to go through a practice with you actually. Is there anything that you are wanting to that comes up immediately, or would you like for me to choose?
Well, Celine, what if there's something that's coming to mind? It's like, well, okay, I've got Brad here. What would I like to tap on? Or what you feel like you would like to your audience to experience.
I would love, I'm just thinking of just any like releasing limiting beliefs in general, whether it's to, whether it's money or body or career, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Love to do a session on releasing limiting beliefs.
yeah, perfect. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and again, think about something that you would really like to have. Personal or professional, physical or financial. Maybe it's something that's been on your vision board for a while but doesn't seem to be manifesting. And imagine yourself having it and say, it's safe for me to achieve this. And just let that rattle around inside. Just following your breath through your body, let that rattle around. And just notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how safe it feels. And don't judge yourself harshly if the number is low. Allow yourself to be aware of, oh, that's great. Now I know what's going on here.
Mm.
And if for some folks, they might say, oh, it's a 10. And we say, check again. Part of you is going to want to say it's a 10. But if you don't already have it or aren't clearly moving in that direction, it's like, oh, yeah, I know it's definitely happening. It's just something that takes time.
Mm.
If that's not the case, then chances are it's not a 10. And there's something that's saying, I can't have it or I can't have it yet. And just allow yourself to be aware of where in your body you might feel that resistance. Notice what thoughts, beliefs, or memories might come up as to why you couldn't or shouldn't have this. What old things have you heard about why it would be wrong to have this, or why you couldn't handle it, or why you don't deserve it? Just allowing yourself to be aware of those limiting beliefs about being able to actually achieve this. Noticing again on a scale of 0 to 10 how strong that resistance might be, how strong any of those beliefs might be about why you couldn't or shouldn't have it. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes. And just tapping where I tap. And so, Shealy, if you'll repeat back what I say, and then everyone else just tap where we tap and repeat back what I say. Even though I might have some resistance to this,
even though I might have some resistance to this,
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I might have some resistance to this,
even though I might have some resistance to this,
I choose to love and honor myself anyway.
I choose to love and honor myself anyway.
Even though I might have some resistance to this,
even though I might have some resistance to this,
as much as I want to deny that,
as much as I want to deny that,
because part of me wants to say,
because part of me wants to say,
I absolutely want this in my life.
I absolutely want this in my life.
And I'm doing everything I can possibly do to get it.
And I'm doing everything I can possibly do to get it.
There's nothing I'm doing to stop myself.
There's nothing I'm doing to stop myself.
But if I don't have it yet,
But if I don't have it yet,
I choose to be open to the possibility.
I choose to be open to the possibility
that there might be some resistance in there.
That there might be some resistance in there.
And even though I have some resistance,
and even though I have some resistance,
I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself.
Love, honor, and accept myself.
And maybe anyone else who's contributed to this.
Maybe anyone else who's contributed to this.
All this resistance.
All this resistance.
All this possible resistance.
All of this possible resistance.
To getting what I say I want.
To getting what I say I want.
And part of me says.
And part of me says.
There's no resistance.
There is no resistance.
I am totally open to having this happen.
I am totally open to having this happen.
And every single day.
And every single day.
I'm doing everything I possibly can.
I'm doing everything I possibly can.
To manifest this into my life.
To manifest this into my life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
If I'm really honest with myself.
If I'm really honest with myself.
There are probably some times in my life.
There are probably some times in my life.
Where I'm walking in the opposite direction.
When I'm walking in the opposite direction.
Where I stop myself from taking positive action.
Where I stop myself from taking positive action.
Where I make some choices.
Where I make some choices.
That seem to contradict what I say I want.
That seem to contradict what I say I want.
And it's not that I'm bad or stupid.
And it's not that I'm bad or stupid.
It's not that I'm undeserving.
It's not that I'm undeserving.
It's I have some old programming.
You know, your internet just cut out.
It's just that I have some old programming.
It's just that I have some old programming.
Telling me that maybe I shouldn't have this.
Telling me that maybe I shouldn't have this.
Maybe I'm not deserving.
Maybe I'm not deserving.
Maybe I couldn't handle it.
Maybe I couldn't handle it.
So it's fine to get excited about it.
So it's fine to get excited about it.
It's fine to put it on my vision board.
It's fine to put it on my vision board.
I just need to make sure it doesn't actually happen.
I just need to make sure it doesn't actually happen.
And so sometimes I actually sabotage myself.
So sometimes I actually sabotage myself.
Because I'm trying to protect myself.
Because I'm trying to protect myself.
From something I don't think I can handle.
From something I don't think I can handle.
From something I've been convinced would be unsafe.
From something I've been convinced would be unsafe.
And I'm allowing myself to reconsider that.
And I'm allowing myself to reconsider that.
And I really love and appreciate those parts of me.
And I really love and appreciate those parts of me.
That have been so dedicated to protecting me.
That has been so dedicated to protecting me.
So while part of me has said. That I've been depriving myself of what I really want.
That I've been depriving myself of what I really want.
Part of me actually believes. I'm exactly giving myself what I need.
I'm exactly giving myself what I need.
The safety of my comfort zone.
The safety of my comfort zone.
And I deserve better than that.
And I deserve better than that.
And I'm clearing any doubts about that.
And I'm clearing any doubts about that.
I'm clearing all this resistance.
I'm clearing all of this resistance.
Clearing it at a cellular level.
Clearing it at a cellular level.
And clearing it all the way back through my past.
And clearing it all the way back through my past.
Back through all these times in my life.
Back through all these times in my life.
Where I somehow picked up the message.
That it wouldn't be safe for me to have what I want. That it wouldn't be safe to have what I want,
or it wouldn't be right.
or it wouldn't be right.
Those were misunderstandings.
Those were misunderstandings.
And I was doing the best I could at the time.
And I was doing the best I could at the time.
And I'm getting better and better all the time.
And I'm getting better and better all the time.
And I'm allowing myself to recognize the truth.
I'm allowing myself to recognize the truth.
I am a magnificent child of the universe.
I am a magnificent child of the universe.
Worthy and deserving of the best this world has to offer.
Worthy and deserving of the best that this world has to offer.
Nothing is too good for me.
Nothing is too good for me.
I've got what it takes to do what it takes.
I've got what it takes to do what it takes.
And I can handle things getting better and better.
And I can handle things getting better and better.
And I'm allowing things to get better and better.
And I'm allowing things to get better and better.
In body, mind, and spirit.
In body, mind, and spirit.
And take a deep breath. And again, with your eyes closed, again, thinking about what you want to achieve, and say, it's safe for me to have this. And hopefully that number has come up. And for some folks, the number may still feel as high, but you may have greater awareness, because when we're tapping, it's like peeling layers of the onion. You may know, oh, I totally get why I've been resisting this now. And then you can take those and tap more specifically on those old beliefs, like, oh, I remember this thing that happened when I was a kid to this person that I knew. And I must have made a decision at that time, hey, you can really want that, but make sure it doesn't happen. You know, or maybe, oh, that time in the third grade when I won that award and my best friend didn't talk to me for a month. And now I'm thinking about this achievement that I want to have. And now I know why I don't want to have that, because I'm afraid I'll lose my best friend. It's like, okay, tap that out. It doesn't have to happen that way. And change the meaning. And then it gives you the freedom to take those actions you haven't been taking.
Wow. Thank you so much. Even, for me doing that with you, I noticed the shift even in myself that I didn't realize that I had the space for. So exactly what you said, it's that you might not even realize it. So, and I would encourage those listening who actually want to work on a specific challenge as well, to work with someone like yourself to go into that even deeper and actually understand and have that freedom. Right.
Yeah.
So
giving yourself permission to look and see those things, and just, acknowledging, okay, if I don't have what I say that I want, there may very well be some resistance there. And what might that be? And it's not anything wrong with you. You're not bad or stupid for having resistance. It's based on your experiences and the programming that you have. You're doing the best you can. And allowing yourself now to recognize, if you had been taught that 3 + 3 = 1, and that's all you had been taught, you're going to fail every math test. But it's not that you're stupid. You're just using the information or the misinformation you've been given. So allowing yourself to go, okay, well, I could either admit that was a mistake and change my mind about that, or I can say, well, that's the way it's always been. I've got to defend that. I've got to defend the people who taught me that. And I'm just going to keep saying that 3 + 3 = 1. Yeah, no, you deserve better than that. Nothing's too good for you.
No, and I love that, because, it's one thing to have a conscious awareness of saying, okay, like I have this limiting belief, and, working through that process. But I've found through your work too, that there is an instant internal upliftment. There is a freedom that one experiences, that's subconscious. It works on the subconscious mind.
Because we're a mind body. We're not just a mind. It's not like, well, everything that's going wrong is all just up in here. Because we feel it in our bodies. Our emotions, it's a visceral experience. And so that the change to truly be effective, the change needs to happen in mind and body. And so having this somatic component of the tapping helps to shift that, which then expedites the shift in our mindset as well.
I love that. And what you've mentioned before, I just want to reiterate that this is a daily practice that one can have, and you can actually, that's why the rating yourself is so important in the beginning, because you can actually see, okay, I moved up from a 5 to an 8, or, whatever it is.
Right.
So, I mean, thank you so much for walking me through that and those who have listened. I would love to know really if there anything else that you would really love for people to know about the work that you do?
To me, the most important thing is learning to love yourself, because it's, and people give give lip service to it and things like that, but a lot of us have a lot of beliefs about why we shouldn't, how it's arrogant or conceited, which is not true. Arrogance and conceit are not self-love. That's
Mhm.
insecurity pretending to be self-love.
Mhm.
When we're having to put other people down and say I'm better than other people, then that's not real self-love, because we're all connected. And the more we love ourselves, the more love we feel for other people. The more we see our own magnificence, the more we see it in other people. It's an
Mhm.
absolute win-win situation. And because we have so many limiting beliefs about self-love, that's one of the best places to tap and clear
Mhm.
that stuff out. Because when you really love someone, you want them to have the best.
Mhm.
You want to give them gifts. You want them to have really good things. So the more we love ourselves, the more inclined we are to take those steps that allow us greater abundance, greater health, greater love in our lives. And the more we have, the more we have to give, and the more freedom we have to share our individual gifts and talents. Because if, as you love yourself, it's like, of course I'm a gift to share with the world.
Totally. Totally. I love that. It's so true. And that's really what stems from everything else too, is like our thoughts about ourselves and others and our actions. Yes, I love that. Thanks for bringing that up. And so on that, how can people reach you? How can people work with you and learn more?
Yeah, thanks. Easiest way is go to my website, tapwithbrad.com. You can also go on YouTube. So I've got over 1,000 videos now, and just put in Tap with Brad. But yeah, tapwithbrad.com will have links to all these other resources on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tap with Brad, on all of those places.
Amazing. I will link to all of that, including your other social media platforms. Brad, it was so nice to officially meet you. It's so nice when I meet people that I've been, seeing online. I get to, chat with you in person, and I like you even more now. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share your wisdom and your practice with the world.
Oh, my pleasure. Again, thanks so much for having me on. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to share this work with folks. And thank you to everyone who's watching and was willing to give this a try, because the benefits you allow yourself will then benefit other people and the world at large. So thanks for doing that.
Amen to that. All right. Thanks, everyone.